Tēnā koutou katoa, no mai hara mai ki UFC on Sky, ko Ravinda Hunia tōku ingoa. Welcome on in. I'm flying solo this week as my co-host Dan Hooker continues his extended break, but very well deserved. But the show must go on, of course, and we are looking ahead to UFC Fight Night in Paris, where City Kickboxing's Kevin Jousset will feature on home soil for the very first time in his career. Kia ora, Kevin, and welcome back to UFC on Sky.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me again.
Look, Kevin, last time we spoke to you, you were still at home preparing for your fight in France, and now you're there, you're on the ground. What's the feel like finally being over there and preparing to fight for the first time on home soil?
Yeah, it feels good. It feels good. That's a moment I've been waiting for many years now. So yeah, I'm just excited to be able to fight in front of my people, my family, my friends. And yeah, just my French fans in general. I've received a lot of support from them, especially this past year. So yeah, just exciting time ahead.
Are you surprised at the amount of attention that you're getting from media over there? I know last time you were on the show, Dan asked you about, what it's like to be, having more to do with French media, but what's it been like on the ground?
I'm not surprised. I was expecting it. And yeah, I knew it was going to happen, and I know it's going to be more and more, to be honest. So it's all right. I'm getting used to it slowly. But yeah, it's been good. Fight week is a bit harder because you have to cut the weight and deal with all the media and everything at the same time, and also most importantly staying focused on your fight, because that's what really matters. But it's fun. I've done a few fight weeks by now, so I'm used to that, and I'm just trying to do my best to deal with it and stay focused on what I need to do for my fight.
Yeah, you mentioned that because you'll be cutting weight and still, trying to stay warm and ready once fight day comes around. So yeah, you need even more energy, I would think, especially mentally, to be getting through interviews like this.
No, it's all right. It's all right, to be honest. Especially doing interviews with you guys and people I'm used to do interviews, that's always cool. It's always when I do interviews with people I've never done interviews with. I never know what kind of questions they're gonna ask. But it's when Sky Sports is asking, I'm always happy to do it.
Look, I wanted to ask you about being there in Paris. I don't think I've ever asked you about, is this something that you ever dreamed of or hoped that, being in the UFC has kind of been the extent of what I've actually found out about what you really wanted to do. But does it hit different doing it this time in France?
Yeah, being in the UFC was the first part of the goal. I have way bigger goals in my mind, and I want to achieve way bigger things in the sport. But being in the UFC was the first step. Fighting in France is definitely another big step for me. And I just know it's going to be huge for my career to fight at home, and just to have the people here getting to know me, getting to see my fighting style. I've never fought in France before, so many of the French fans don't know me yet. And lucky enough, I'm on the main card against a good opponent, and I'm sure that's a perfect fight for me to introduce myself to the French fans. So yeah, exciting, very exciting.
Yeah, well, for those that have been following your journey, your MMA mixed martial arts in France was illegal not too long ago, and now we've had, I think this will be the third card that they're having in Paris. So quite the spectacle. So what are your thoughts on being a part of that history? Not just competing there, but being a part of this history.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I was talking to some of the French fighters yesterday, and they fought on the show last year or the year before, and they were telling me the change room are just underneath the arena, which means the crowd is so insane. They're all jumping off the floor, and you can feel the training room shaking while you are warming up, and you can hear the noise and stuff. And they're saying it's insane. Before you even get into the arena, you can hear them so loud, and it's just gonna be next level. But I'm excited about it. But at the same time, I just try to keep myself focused, and I've been pretty good just at focusing on my goal, focusing on what I can control really, which means just what I can do in the cage and not the other things. And yeah, I know it's gonna bring some pressure, but I put pressure on myself more than anyone can put pressure on me. I have big expectations of myself, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to do some good work once again.
Yeah, well, you've walked out to rowdy crowds before, but as you say, you've never walked out to a rowdy French crowd before. Is there any sort of perhaps preparation that you need to, brace yourself for hearing news like that, the crowd is absolutely nuts in a good way? Do you sort of have to prepare yourself for that?
Yeah, I've tried to visualize it many, many times now. I've tried to also watch the last few UFC Paris, and I've just tried to like see myself in there, and yeah, a lot of visualization. But at the end of the day, like it's all about how are you gonna react on the day. You know, you can do all the preparation you want. It doesn't really matter. You know, you just have to be present on the day. So yeah, I've done as well as I could to think about it, but at the end of the day, I'll try to be as focused as possible on the fight night. And yeah, as I said, just being focused on the fight itself, still enjoying the moment, enjoying the crowd, and enjoying the fans. But the main thing is I want to win this fight. That's the main thing.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that fight. You're up against Bryan the Butcher Battle. What have you made of him? He's been in the UFC since 2021. I think he's had 7 fights in the UFC so far. So what do you make of him? Plenty of tape to see of him.
Yeah, absolutely. I've studied him a lot. He's a very good opponent. He fought some good guys. He has a style who matches quite well with me for bringing a good fight for the fans, I believe. We're pretty similar in a sense on what both do and use like long punches and kicks and stuff like that. So I think the fans gonna really enjoy this fight. I think we studied him well enough to have the right game plan to beat him. And yeah, good opponent. That's good. That's one step forward for me. And the goal is to fight the best guys in the division anyway. So yeah, we keep beating better and better guys. And yes, that's what we want.
Yeah, nice. He is a prospect to watch. I think there was something on the UFC about him being one to watch in the welterweight division. There seems to be this little wave of fighters coming through the welterweight division at the moment. There are some in the top 15 who have been there for quite a while who are slowly starting to drop down those rankings, which could, potentially mean room for fighters like you and Bryan Battle to move up into.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe the winner of these fights will have a very big fight next. So yeah, I'm just gonna make sure it's gonna be me.
That's always the goal, Kevin, always the goal. Look, I wanted to touch on the success that's been happening in City Kickboxing Gym. Dana White Contender Series for one, light heavyweight Navajo Sterling gaining a contract. I wanted to know if you watched that fight and what you made of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, I've watched it. Very happy for him and not surprised at all, to be honest. Like Nav has been training hard in the gym for quite a few years now. And yeah, he's one of the guys I train with a lot, and he's definitely hard to deal with. Very, very good. He has improved a lot, and he hasn't shot everything yet. Like he has many more weapons, and he hasn't shot to the people yet. So I'm very excited to see him fight in the UFC, and I know he's gonna handle that very well. He's used to fighting in front of big crowd as well. He knows how to control pressure and stuff like that. So he's ready to go. So looking forward to see his first UFC fight.
Yeah, well, he's been slated for December, I believe, in Tampa, Florida. Yeah. So can't wait to count down and watch him prepare for that one. So yeah, very exciting indeed. And although Aaron Toe, Cam Ralston didn't get the results they wanted at Dana White Contender Series, it really does go to show the pedigree of fighter. And we spoke about new waves of fighters, of this new wave coming through City Kickboxing as well.
Yeah, I was very disappointed for them. I've been training with them for a long time. Cameron and I, we actually moved to the gym pretty much around the same time. So he's been one of my main training partners for many years. So very disappointed, you hope your friends for the best, I just want them to reach their goals. I want them to be able to make a living out of this sport, and, they deserve it. Aaron as well, like both of those guys. So yeah, but I'm sure the UFC will give them another chance eventually. And so, yeah, let's see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't wait to see what they come up with in the future for sure. And look, we've just got news too. Another light heavyweight in City Kickboxing, Carlos Ulberg. We haven't seen him on the scene for a while. His opponent's just been named for November. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, big Carlos. I'm very happy for him. I think that's a great fight. I actually trained with Volkanovski for a couple of months when I was in Europe in 2021. I trained with him, but obviously trained with Carlos much more. So I'll always back up my guy. Yeah, very happy for him. That's a good fight. I think that's a fight where he can do great. And who knows? Like, this division is a bit crazy at the moment. So if he has another big win, as he's been having those past 5 or 6 fights now, things can go very quickly for Carlos. And same thing, like, he's very strong, he's very good, he's sharp, and yeah, I can't wait to see him fight another big name and moving forward in the division and hopefully being the champ by, I don't know, within the next year or so.
Yeah, that is an exciting prospect. Of course, Carlos number 10, Volkan number 6. So this would be quite a nice jump for him should he be successful in this fight too.
Absolutely, absolutely. As you say, like he keeps climbing, and that makes sense. Like he's been on a, I don't know, 5-6 winning streak, and with a lot of knockouts at the same time. He has an exciting style to watch, so people love that. The UFC loves that, and he doesn't say no to any fights or anything. He's ready to fight the bigger names, and exciting times ahead for him. That's for sure.
Do you expect him to be tapping on your shoulder to ask for some advice about Volkan, seeing as you'd know him probably better than rest in the gym?
Nah, I mean, he may, but let's see what happens. But all I know is I'll be there in the gym to help him and to spar with him and Carlos or anyone else in the gym. Like we're here to help each other in sparring, and whatever he needs to help him to get ready for his fight, I'll be there for him.
Kevin, as for you, you're on the main card as well. I think this is your first time on a main card for a UFC, for any UFC. So congratulations for that. What kind of performance are you wanting to put out this weekend? I know that you'll be working to fine tune to bring something more than you've been displaying in the last 2 fights. So what do you want to put out there?
Very big performance. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for making a statement. I'm looking for people understanding that I'm here for a long time and I'm here for going to the top of the division. And I think there's a perfect opponent to do so. As you said previously, he has a lot of hype around him, and the UFC is kind of saying he's a bright and future big name of the division and all those stuff. And I'm just looking forward to steal this hype. And just doing what I do, like I love being underdog. I'm a pretty big underdog on this fight. Last time I was underdog was my last fight before the UFC, and I beat the guy. I finished him in the 3rd round. So if I can finish the guy in the 3rd round too, I'll take it.
Nice one. Well, Kevin, thank you so much for joining us, and all the very best this weekend. We'll be watching. It's an early start for here in New Zealand anyway. 8 a.m. the main card starts, but we'll all be up and watching in anticipation.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate it.
As mentioned, Kevin Jousset will be fighting American Bryan Battle. Now, the man they call the Butcher has been in the UFC since 2021 and is 7 fights deep into his UFC career. I also had the pleasure of catching up with him to talk about his opportunity in Paris. Kia ora, joining me now here on UFC on Sky is Bryan Battle. Kia ora, Bryan, and welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. You know what I'm saying? I love the fact that I get to talk to the good people in New Zealand. You know what I mean? And, I hope you guys enjoy the show that I put on this weekend.
Absolutely. And I'm not sure how much you know about New Zealand, but you do have a wee fan base down here.
I know because, I was coached by Volk on the show that, people periodically from New Zealand will show me some love. And, I'm a crazy person, you know what I'm saying? I know the people in New Zealand, they can get a little crunk. I can get a little crunk too. So I'm definitely gonna have to make a trip one day. I'm gonna make a trip to New Zealand one day.
You know the important bits.
Yes.
Let's talk a bit about Volk, because obviously you were referring to The Ultimate Fighter and your time on that show. What did you make of Volk and that experience?
Volk, the impression that he made over the course of that show was kind of like career altering for me. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people attribute like learning techniques and, learning moves and stuff from him. But, it was really hard in the time that we had to actually like learn any techniques, any moves, you know what I'm saying? Especially like me, I was basically in fight camp the whole time. So we were really just game planning. But just his demeanor, the way he carried himself, the way he treated people, and his work ethic, it was like, okay, me as a young fighter coming up, if I want to get to the top, if I want to be a champion, that's what it looks like. You know what I mean? And he wasn't just a champion. Like he was also like, he was on the way to being pound for pound #1. So, it was really, I'm always so grateful for my time on Tough, not just for the opportunity to win a UFC contract, but to spend time underneath a world-class, future Hall of Fame fighter, pound for pound, just all around great dude like Volkanovski.
100% agree with you. He's a regular on this show, obviously,
Yeah.
being just over in Australia. But
Yeah.
the one thing I think I really love about him is what you see is what you get. There's no ifs, buts, or maybes. What you see, even on his social media, how, his funny little clips and whatever, that's just who he is as a person.
Yeah. No, Volk is really the man. Like, he doesn't get enough credit for what he does. Like we would have 2 training sessions every day, and the other team, Ortega would kind of just show up whenever. He'd show up late for the team's training sessions. Volk and the boys, they would always they would schedule their workouts so that they would be finishing just as we were coming in. So every day we're coming in sore and tired and whatnot. And as we're walking in, they're finishing up their workout just to let us know that not only are they putting in the work with us, but, it's just like, they're there on time, you know what I'm saying? They're ready to go. And it was a blessing being able to be on Volk's team.
Pretty old school like that, eh? I think of old school fighters that are always like that, quite militant with their scheduling.
Yeah. No, he wasn't playing like, he's a cool, happy-go-lucky guy, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's there to get the work in, you know what I mean?
Yeah, what an amazing experience for you. And now look at you, 2024, that seemed like so long ago now, but, it's kind of shaped this successful UFC career that you're having right now. And I think if there's one thing that stands out between this matchup with you and Kevin is that experience. So, talk to us a bit about what you've learned about yourself and evolved over these, few years as a UFC fighter.
The privilege of being a UFC fighter and, what I'm saying, being able to train full time has really just allowed me to continually elevate my game. The experience I've had, what I'm saying, I've got to experience a lot of different things, what I'm saying, fight a lot of different people, a lot of different body types, a lot of different styles. And so it's just like a constant process of being like, okay, I need to get better at this, get better at that. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I need to get better at this, get better at that. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like you can see what's amazing is there's things that I've been working on for years that didn't really like necessarily come to fruition that, will just come to fruition. So, that experience thing is big. It's not everything for sure. You know what I mean? But it definitely is. It's a luxury to have the experience in a fight. You know what I mean? Just to know some more things. Like I said, Kevin, he's 2-0. People are excited about him, but, I'm 5-1-1. I should be 6-1. You know what I mean? And, I've gone against a lot of different killers. You know what I'm saying? That's not even including being on the show. You know what I'm saying? Like taking out someone like Andre Petrosky. You know what I'm saying? People don't talk about that anymore. So like I said, it's a luxury. It's not everything. So it's not something I'm depending on. It's just something I got in my back pocket.
Yeah. For sure. And does it best prepare you to be in a place like Paris? I don't know if you've been there before or, in France in general, to prepare for fights on foreign lands?
No, I mean, in the way of like, so I've never been to Europe before. And so with that being said, really the experience isn't in, the experience is in like the routine. And so it's like, you can take me and drop me anywhere. And it's like, okay, well, once I get on my routine, nothing changes. Like I got out here a couple of days earlier so I can really get settled in, get into my routine, start doing what I like to do. And so now it's like I'm in Paris, but, I might as well be in Vegas. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, even when I'm in America, I don't go outside the hotel. You know what I'm saying? Like I stay in the hotel, I train. You know what I'm saying? I eat the little bit of food they give us. You know what I'm saying? I lay down and then we train a little bit more, So that's what we're doing out here. People keep on asking me that. How's Paris? You live in Paris? I'm like, it looks cool from the window. You know what I mean? Like when I'm looking.
Power over there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like the people seem all right in the hotel, but no, I will say just knowing that I do need to stay disciplined. I do need to stay focused on the task at hand. That is something but we're learning as we're going still. So, I'm sure I'll learn something from this trip too.
But there's the perception though, isn't it, that it's all very glamorous, traveling around the world and being at these foreign places. You might get the chance after the fight to have a little walk somewhere. But I know being media is nothing in comparison to being a fighter at an event, but it's the same for us. We just stay in those hotels all day, and you're not walking around anywhere. And then on fight night, we're in the basement, waiting for you guys to come out.
Yeah.
So the glamour of it is just not there, is it?
No, it's not. I think people just assume that it's like a vacation. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like, and once again, I'm not complaining. Like, it is still like an extreme blessing. Like, it's like, just like I said, I've been in the hotel 95% of the time, but the 5% that I did go walking around, it was really cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, to experience the culture. Once again, even talking to the people in the hotel. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to work on my French. You know what I'm saying? Bonjour, au revoir. Merci beaucoup. You know what I'm saying? Like, picking up little things. Being able to travel, it is a blessing, but it's just like I like traveling. So how do I get to keep on doing this? How do I get to keep traveling for a job? It's by being successful at my job. So, it's not a vacation. Stay focused. You know what I'm saying? Take care of the task at hand, and really enjoy my night out afterwards.
Yeah. Look, let's talk about, have you been able to get to the arena yet and have a look at what that configuration looks like yet? Because I'm guessing on the night, obviously, you're in foreign territory. I won't say enemy, foreign territory. The crowd's going to be going berserk. And is there much preparation that you put behind that and what to expect? I
have not been to the stadium. I'll see it on Friday, I believe, for the ceremonial weigh-ins. But this is one of those things where I think, like you said, the experience comes into play, because I was fortunate enough, like, I'm fighting in Jousset's hometown, or not necessarily his hometown, but I'm fighting in his home territory. I was fortunate enough to fight in my hometown, you know what I mean, in a big stadium. And so it's like, I know what it feels like to make that walk and to hear the noise of a hometown fighter, you know what I mean? Now, granted, this time I'll be on the flip side. I'll be the dude coming into enemy territory. It's not something I'm too concerned about, you know what I'm saying? That is the one thing that never changes. A fight is a fight is a fight is a fight, you know what I'm saying? You can have hundreds of thousands of people there. They can be, 20 people there, you know what I mean? We can be in Paris, France. We can be in South America. We can be in Africa. It doesn't matter. A fight is a fight is a fight is a fight. And I'm going to do to you what I'm going to do regardless. So all that to say, no, I haven't seen the stadium yet, but when I'm looking forward to it, and but it will not affect what I do to this man on Saturday night.
That'll be your next walk outside of the hotel.
Yes, facts, 100%. Like, I was sitting in the car and I'll just be looking at things. I'll be like, oh, nice, look at that.
The sun is up, the sun is down.
Yeah. Now, well, that's the one thing. I haven't seen the sun one time since we've been out here. The sun has not come out yet. It's been very cloudy the whole time. It's kind of becoming a vibe a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But you could be like the dark cloud over the French fighters while you're over there.
Yes, but then the French guys that, I was thinking I would have to come over here and be a troll, but everyone's been so nice. Damn, dude, you guys are kind of, the people always talk about French people being rude. I have not experienced any French people.
I thought that too. I've heard that too.
Like, people are like, yeah, French people are rude. To me, they're not very rude. They're in a rush. You know what I'm saying? Like, they like to get things done fast. And I'm, being from, not only being American, but being from where I'm at in America, like, I'm from the country, you know what I'm saying? From North Carolina. Like you said, I talk a little slow. I move a little slow. I take my time. I'm not in any rush to go anywhere. So I'd say that's kind of like the main conflict between me and the French people. But they've been very nice, very very pleasant, you know what I mean? So
talk to us about what you make of Kevin as a fighter and what you're, expecting to see or feel or smell or see come fight night.
Kevin's solid. You know what I'm saying? He's got a good frame at welterweight. Got nice striking. Haven't seen a ton of his grappling, but from what I've seen, it's not like it's pretty solid. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. A little boring. He's been putting out a little vlog series. I've been watching the vlog series. It's hard to stay awake during the whole thing, if I'm being honest with you. You know what I'm saying? I watch it at night when I'm in bed. I've gotten through every episode, but I have almost fallen asleep every time. You know what I mean? But he seems like a nice enough guy. Yeah, no, I'm planning on walking through him on Saturday night. So, you know, but it's like that would be anybody. You know what I'm saying? It's not anything. Seems like a good guy, good fighter. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure he'll have a good career after this. But yeah, I'm gonna put him on. I'm gonna put it on him on Saturday night.
How important is that aspect of it, putting out an exciting fight? And sometimes even if the result doesn't go your way, but it's an exciting fight, can help just as much to put out that good performance. So how much is it, you know, exciting is it for you to put out that, you know, like fireworks?
I don't know. At this stage in my career, things not going my way isn't an option. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, people think this fight's going to be close. I think it's like a pick 'em. It's not going to be close. It's not a pick 'em. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's like I fight how I fight. You know what I mean? And I think the biggest thing is to stay true to yourself. You know what I'm saying? And you know, if you work hard, you know what I'm saying? If you know what I'm saying? And only you really know if you worked like as hard as you need to work. You know what I mean? You just go out there and you put on a show. You know what I'm saying? That comes with being fearless. And the only way to be fearless is to be confident. And the only way to be confident is to know what you can do. I know exactly what I can do. You know what I'm saying? I know exactly what I'm good at. I know exactly what I'm okay at. You know what I'm saying? I know where my strengths are. And I'm going to show off a little bit for everybody on Saturday night.
Well, it's an exciting matchup. Can't wait to see it. And thank you so much for joining us on UFC on Sky. And us down here in New Zealand, we'll be watching you from 8 a.m. on Sunday morning.
Oh, 8 a.m. is crazy. 8 a.m. is crazy. That's wild as hell. All right, but thank you. Thank you for having me. Everyone watching, thank you, and supporting anyone from New Zealand who's ever sent me a message. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Make sure you tune in. This Saturday, I'm going to put on a show. Tune in at 8 a.m. Make sure you wake up, get your coffee, you know what I'm saying? Get your caffeine. Make sure you're wide awake to see what I do on Saturday.
Whānau, don't miss it. UFC Fight Night in Paris this weekend featuring CKB's very own Kevin Jousset up against Bryan Battle. The main event is a lightweight showdown between Renato Moicano and Benoit Saint-Denis. All the action is live on ESPN2 from 8 a.m, so you're going to need to set those alarm clocks early. Thank you for joining me. Hei kōna mai.
The UFC returns to Paris. Fiery finisher Renato Moicano meets local favorite Benoit Saint-Denis. Plus, Nasser Genie Mava versus Brendan Allen. Streaming on ESPN+.